All right, it's episode 29 of Daddy Home, the podcast made for the people, by the people, for people. Episode 29, that's right. It's a milestone, Kiki. We made it to episode 29.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, really. Last episode was 28, so then like you add one, it's 29.
That's, that's mathematics.
Yeah. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to my friends at Inebriated Records. What's up, guys? They have a great show. They have a bunch of shows, but Inebriated Instigators, you can catch it on YouTube, Facebook. I did their episode a few days ago. A lot of fun. Definitely check them out. Good guys, really, really cool friends of the show. And, of course, my dear friend, Lori Chapman, just want to say hi to you. Thanks for friending me on Instagram and talking to me during my low point in life. So I appreciate that. Lori Chapman. She lives in Kansas City.
Oh, that's, you know what? They have really kind people there for that.
Yeah. So here we are, episode 29, a very special episode because, well, we actually have kind of a celebrity with us today. I'd like to introduce to our listening audience and those of you that are watching us on YouTube, Facebook, wherever else we're streaming this, to Mr. Handsome Tommy Sinbazo.
Yay!
Tommy!
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for coming on the show. We really appreciate it. It's nice having someone of your stature here.
I'm a nobody.
Shut the fuck up. You're somebody to me. So let's just start out with this. Who is Tommy Sinbazo?
Are you asking me?
I think so, yeah.
Who is Tommy Sinbazo?
I don't know. It's a fake name anyway. I'll tell you where it came from. You want to know where Sinbazo came from?
Well, let me ask you this follow-up question. Is it true you have no spleen?
That's true. That's actually what Sinbazo means. When I was 23, I did a belly flop off of a jungle gym onto a railroad tie, and my rib cage compressed, ruptured my spleen. They took my spleen out, and then a few years later, I was dating a Cuban girl who used to call me Tommy Sinbazo, right? Which is Spanish for Tommy without spleen. And my whole life, people have fucked up my real last name, which is Lear, but it's the German spelling, so there's an H in there. Oh. And my very first open mic at High Tops in Timonium, T. Brad Hudson was like, Tommy LaHer. And ever since, I was like, from now on, I'm just going to go by Tommy Sinbazo.
I remember those early days. You had those wheelie shoes. That was awesome. You used to like skate around on your shoes, and you had that fake paint. You had the dildo.
I did. This open mic was at a rib joint in Hunt Valley, and I decided I was going to dabble in prop comedy. So I bought a 2-foot double-headed dildo from the porn shop, which they sold it to me, and they put it in a black bag that was only 6 inches deep. So
like popping out.
Yeah, but surprising fact for those of you just listening, I am the same color as a double-headed dildo.
Exactly.
And
so you matched the color.
I matched it. So I built a rig so that it would hold it in my pants leg. And then there was fishing twine attached to a ring. And if I raised my hands, it would pull 1.5 feet of dick out of my fly, and I could puppet it. And so at this rib joint where families are eating on a Sunday, I was like, I want to thank everyone for coming out, but mostly I want to thank my Lord Jesus. And I raised my hands, and all this dick came out, and it was dead silent. I think you heard like a fork drop on some table or whatever. No one laughed at, and then it wasn't like I could quickly put it away, so I had to walk through this rib joint with a bunch of dick coming out of my pants to get to the bathroom to put the dick away.
That is excellent.
It was awesome.
That's
it was a great experience.
It did not work.
I would have left.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
I think people were just shocked. Yeah, they
probably. They were like, "Is that really his dick?"
Did you do that same routine over at High Tops?
I've never used it again. I did it that one time.
It was
and then
just for the
just
rib
for
place.
that rib joint, because I was so new that it wasn't. It's not like I was getting up at Magoobies or comedy clubs, because when I started, there wasn't really. You had your big clubs. You had the Improv.
Yeah.
You had the Baltimore Comedy Factory, and you had Magoobies.
Magoobies, yeah.
And all of those, you had to get past their contests to get on. And there was only one open mic in the area, and that was at Damon's at High Top. Or, was it? Yeah, it was
Damon's Steakhouse.
Yeah.
There was a steakhouse.
Yeah.
It was just this rib joint in the Hunt Valley Mall.
That is
that
hilarious.
strip mall.
And you brought your double-headed dildo.
Yeah, and I used to carry a drum. I used to be a way different comic.
Yeah.
I would wear plaid pants and a bowler cap.
How long have you been doing comedy, Tommy?
Like 15 years or something.
Sounds about right.
Wow.
Yeah, it's hard. It's crazy to think that. Like, it's been, more than a decade.
Yeah.
And I'm not even 15 years old yet, so that's
Exactly.
incredible.
But, man, Tommy's always been, like, one of the funnier people in the scene. Like, from get-go, from the start.
Because Andrew Unger still tells me he remembers when I sucked. He wasn't wrong. Because I tell you what the issue was. I was dressed like a clown, carrying a bongo drum for one bit on stage, and I had rigged it so the bongo drum could shoot confetti. Like I was,
That's awesome.
and I couldn't connect with the audience because I looked so out there. So it wasn't until I started like wearing jeans that like the audience could find me relatable. That's really when I started to find my voice.
That is, I guess that's true. I don't know. I remember being very jealous of you when I first saw you perform.
I was jealous of you.
No, I doubt
Yeah,
that.
I was like, "Holy, that's Justin Jones," and like,
Same.
Yeah, we would be at High Tops, and I'd be like, "Oh shit, Justin's on the show. Let's go watch his set."
Fuck up. I would always be like, God damn it, why is this guy so funny? Like, how am I supposed to follow this shit? Yeah, Tommy is truly funny. So funny that he actually has a Hulu special available on Hulu.
Not yet.
It's not available, but it will be available soon.
Okay, well, look. They said that they were gonna record a bunch of specials and then try to shop these specials around to like Hulu and streaming services. So they said Hulu. If it doesn't come out on Hulu, don't come after me.
No, I mean,
like if it's
maybe
what
it's on
only
Netflix.
it's gonna be what's on OnlyFans after October.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
I'd pay for that.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that.
What a way to shoot yourself in the foot. Like their board was like, "We hate money."
Yeah, it's
Let's
fucking
not-
dumb.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm really upset about that. But I guess, you know what, with OnlyFans, it's like, I go to porn channels, whatever.
I like to watch porn of people I know.
So do I.
Yeah.
Dude, remember when Jen Tisdale put out that porn video?
Yeah.
Oh, that was so hot.
And then it turns out the guy was
He's a bad dude.
Yeah, it was a bad guy. Turned out that what was his name?
James Dean.
James Dean. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
He's a
So
bad
there was
dude.
Yeah,
comedian.
I'm totally lost.
All right. Okay.
I'm
Let me
sorry.
read the
I
backstory on this.
I don't actually. Yeah, I don't know.
So Jen
who you're
Tisdale
jerking off to this week.
Jen Tisdale was a comedian, kind of, who she has a lot of issues, but she was an open micer pretty much who like fucked everybody
Okay,
for the most part in the scene. But not everybody, but a lot of
Not me.
comedians.
sounds neat.
Not me, but there's a list of them. And she ended up doing porn.
Sorry.
She ended up like applying to do porn. Like she sent the guy an email and was like, "Can I please be in one of your porns?"
Really?
Yeah, she said because she used to write for Brightest Young Things, which is a publication out of DC. And she said that she did it because she wanted to write about the experience of being a porn star. But it was like she was already pretty well known as a fan of sex.
Yeah.
Before then.
An enthusiast.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Like,
Yeah,
I have no
that's
problem
cool.
with that. I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
But she made this porn video, and like, of course, every comedian was like, all local comedians were like, "Oh my god, did you see Jen?"
Yeah.
And we all loved it. I loved it. I don't know about everyone else, but she had a nice body. She had a body that wouldn't quit.
Oh,
Not my
saying?
flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're more into like the thick black ladies,
Okay.
right? thick like black and Asian.
I don't specify color.
Oh, word. Are you
Yeah.
colorblind?
Yeah, well, that and I have a little bit of I had cataracts.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
yeah, that would definitely play a part in that. Yeah.
But anyway, I don't want to get too caught up in.
Oh, yeah,
porn
no,
talk,
I'll
because
you
I
know
could
what?
talk hours about porn.
I will.
Is this a porn cast? Is that what?
Might as well. It was originally going to be. Daddy Home was originally going to be me masturbating. Like watching porn and masturbating and seeing if anyone could hear. I was going to have a lot of lube and just be like,
Oh, like real wet.
yeah. And then like 3 minutes of that.
Yeah.
And that was going to be my podcast.
That's
yeah.
this week's episode. See you guys later.
Well, see,
Make sure to go to MailChimp.
Yeah. And I was going to like try to like review different types of porn.
What you could review lubes and stuff too.
well, see, we've
Exactly.
been trying to reach out to what is it, Pornhub, and
Well, I mean, yeah, we've tried to get sponsors.
we
from
had a
different porn
segment
companies.
called the Bone Zone
oh,
that is just now I don't know.
Yeah, it was a game show where like I would play a a quick little soundbite from a porn video, and the person had to guess what company like put it out.
Oh.
You know, was it Bang Bros? Was it 8th Street Latina?
It was
whatever?
It was very difficult.
That sounds like a very difficult game where you're just listening here. You're like, that is Carmen Lynch.
Yes. Well,
appearance on,
but you would win
Reality
$100. You could win $100.
Well, yeah.
If you can guess it, and then unfortunately the guy didn't guess it.
Oh, you only did it once?
Yeah, well, I'd like to bring it back, but I got to figure out, now that we're in studio, it's confusing. Like at home, I was able to just like take my microphone and put it to my computer.
Oh, okay.
And like, okay, listen to this.
I used to work on a digging crew for an underground utility locating company, and they started saying, hey, you have to wear earbuds or earplugs while you're digging for safety.
Makes
and
sense.
there was one time that we were digging, and my boss, my party chief, his earbuds came out of his ear, fell out, and you heard, and I was like, are you just listening to porn while we dig holes?
That's
He was like, don't you worry about it. Don't you worry about what I'm
Absolutely.
listening.
and that's when you got fired.
Yeah.
I remember you had a great video of you at work one day talking to like a moth or some kind of bug that was underground.
Oh yeah, I did. They lowered me down into this. Apparently, near Baltimore Street or near Johns Hopkins, there was a stream that ran through Baltimore, and instead of diverting it or whatever, they just built this huge underground culvert, which it's like 20 feet deep. And so they lowered me down, like they put me in a harness, lowered me down, lowered a robot that I had to put together so they could have a camera down there. And the whole time I'm freaking the fuck out. So I'm talking to this robot to keep my own sanity. Like, come on, buddy, let's go this way.
Oh
and when,
my God.
when I came up for lunch, they were like, we can't hear you. And I'm like, thank God. Thank God you can't hear me confessing all my sins to this robot.
That was a really funny video at the
But
time.
yeah, there was one point where I'm down there and there was this wall that looked like it was just like undulating. And as I got closer, it was just this huge colony of roaches against the wall and shit.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
it was fucking creepy
That's
down there.
disgusting. Well, it is under Baltimore City, so
Yeah.
probably awful the stuff that was down there.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and then you heard like boo-da-doo-da-doo-da, and I had to like jump on turtles.
What did you end up calling the robot something? Is there a name?
I just called him Buddy.
Buddy.
Yeah, I just called
Okay,
him
yeah, I
Buddy.
like that.
That's like
He would
Wall-E.
get stuck. He couldn't go. I'm like, I got you, bud.
Yeah, like
Put 'em up
that
there.
Disney princess, Wally.
Like Wally
Yeah.
the Disney princess, but it was Buddy the sewer robot. Buddy.
Buddy,
Buddy.
look out, that is a turd.
Thank you, Buddy.
There is a condom wrapper around your boot.
No, thanks.
Unfortunately, I don't think people will be able to find that video anymore. I don't know if
It'll have to pop up in my timeline. Like
yeah,
it pops
eventually
up. Yeah.
on the Facebook. It's cool. So something about you, Tommy, that some people will know, it may not know, is that you actually have a podcast also.
Yeah. We used to
And-
actually record here.
Yeah, for
a couple months.
used to record in this studio that we're using.
Yeah. We had to move everything out of the way because we took up so much space.
Yeah, and why is that? Why did you take up so much
Well,
space?
because we had our own table, and there's 6 people that are on the podcast. Well, it's basically comedians playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Now, what is Dungeons and Dragons?
What kind of question is
Justin, really?
that? It's how we worship Satan.
yeah.
Yeah. Have you heard of Satan?
Yeah. The guy, he was like Lucifer, and then he lives in like fire or something.
Well,
Huh,
basically,
cool.
our DM, who are our dungeon master.
Dungeon master, gotcha.
He creates a story, and we play characters in this story, and it's this interactive storytelling sort of thing.
The reason why I'm asking you to explain this is because our podcast is actually popular around the world.
Oh,
So in like Uganda, for example,
Yes,
where we have
Uganda.
listeners, they may not know.
we have a big following in Uganda.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like for some reason
it's
they
almost
love
as if it's fake.
almost like, yeah, it's some spam.
Yeah,
But yeah, people in Uganda fucking love
right then,
the show.
all the Ugandans were like, "I can't believe he said we were fake."
He's canceled. you're
more love finder.
Yeah. So I like people from other parts of the world to know what we're talking about because maybe D&D isn't popular in, like I said, Uganda or
maybe
Singapore.
It's
or,
still too satanic for them.
Or
Or they over
Bangladesh.
there, they may actually be fighting like giant spiders and stuff.
Yeah, they have their own adventures.
This will give us strength.
That's their LARPing.
So how long has your podcast been going with the D&D game?
5 or 6 years.
That's incredible.
Whoa. How many? So, I'm trying to think of the seasons. You've done about 5 seasons.
We're on our 6th season right now.
Wow.
Which after season 7, no, and we all have VR headsets. And right now,
Now, what exactly is a VR headset?
Oh my God, Justin.
it is a gaming headset that you put on over your eyes to access virtual reality games and content.
Wow.
Yeah. But there's
interesting.
companies that are developing software right now so that you can play a tabletop role-playing game in VR. So you actually look like your character. You can fight monsters and
Yeah.
stuff.
That's
I
pretty
do
cool.
a lot of things that aren't that in VR.
Yeah. Oh, because I got a VR headset maybe 3 months ago, and a Quest 2, $300. It's all self-contained, and we've instead of Zoom shows, I got in on VR comedy.
I saw I saw
Actually,
footage of that.
Yeah, I saw footage of your VR. I was creeping on you a bit. I saw the VR. Now, I've been into VR chat quite a few times with my friends. Mostly dressed up as Kermit or Guy Fieri, and just
As you do,
True. Yeah, obviously.
you just be Bobby Hill, and you just go around going, "I don't know you.
yeah,
That's my purse."
yeah. No, I think VR chat is great, but so you do comedy shows on
Yeah,
VR
not
chat.
VR chat. It's alt space VR.
Oh, so that's
where
a different
everyone
one.
has it's a set type of avatar that
okay.
you use. So you go in, you create your avatar. When it's showtime, you log into the club. You get there and you move forward. And there's a bouncer there that's dressed like Super Mario. His name's
Excellent.
Arlo. You dap him up, and then you go into the green room, and there's comedians from all over the world hanging out. And then when it's your time to go on stage, you go from behind the curtain, come out, and I've never performed for less than 40 people, and it's actually 40 people that have put on headsets to come to a comedy show. So when you tell a joke, you hear laughter. They'll shoot emojis out of their head and everying.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
That's
that's
amazing.
awesome.
We're actually doing for the Ellicott Silly Comedy Festival on October 15th at 10 p.m. We're going to do the world's first VR comedy festival showcase, where we are actually going to project on this one place called the Wine Bin on Main Street has this 20-foot screen, and we're going to project on the side of it a camera view of the VR comedy show, and we have a lineup of comics from all over the world that are going to come out and entertain the crowd.
That's fucking awesome.
That is awesome.
Wow. So that's like kind of breaking news. We just broke that here.
Yeah, it's broke. You broke it first.
So
Yeah.
everyone check that out. It's October
15th.
I don't know how they would check it out if they're like listening in other parts of the world.
Is it going to be streamed as well?
Well, it's going to be live on AltSpace VR and free. If you're one of the first, the room can only hold 50 people.
Okay.
So if you get in, you're one of the first 50. That's great. But then it is a $10 ticket to attend in the parking lot. But it's BYOB. You can bring your own chair. Everyone's going to be outside.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I have to host the show live and in VR.
Holy
Oh,
shit.
wow.
So I have to get up in front of the crowd with my
wow.
headset on. I'm going to do local humor for people that don't know. I'm going to do all my Baltimore bits for the crowd.
What
But-
does he
and-
mean, this Old Bay?
Yeah, what
is Old Bay?
Why is he talking like that?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Oh, man, that's exciting.
That's all you're gonna hear.
You're going to have to like set up a camera of you with the VR stuff on.
Well, they've done the guy Kyle Render, who runs the Failed to Render Club.
Okay, yeah.
He's from out of Texas, and earlier I think last month they did the world's first VR live show in Vegas. So there was a club in Vegas that he did comedy, and all of his comics did comedy with VR headsets on for the 100 people there, for the 50 people that were also in VR. And then on the side of the wall in VR, there was a camera stream of the crowd in VR, and you could actually see them on stage. They even had right next to them had like a monitor that just showed their avatar like doing jokes right next to them.
Do you make your own avatar?
Yeah,
for-
you customize. Mine, I swear, it looks just like me.
It had like the purple suit.
Yeah, purple suit, mustache.
Yep.
People keep calling me Dr. Robotnik, and I'm like, you motherfucker.
What kind of avatar would you have, Justin? Would you be an anime girl? Would you be like a thick?
I don't
anime
know.
girl?
I've never really thought about it. You really put me on the spot. Probably something kind of like handsome looking.
like Kermit.
It would look like me pretty much.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
attractive,
Yeah.
muscular.
Yeah.
Very like
mean,
macho.
By the way, the head of your dick is coming out of the bottom of your
Whoops,
pant
let me
leg.
tuck that back in there. Whoa, sorry.
I remember when
forgot to
Justin-
tape
This
it to
isn't
my
a
leg.
barbecue restaurant, Justin.
One time, Justin asked me, he was like, "Hey, I have to host this bingo, this sex toy bingo in Towson. Do you want to co-host it with me?" And it was so uncomfortable because it was all women, and it was just me and Justin. Like, all right, you won this butt plug. I'm gonna try not to think about you using it, I guess.
We got paid. Which was
we
good.
got paid, but then they were like, "You guys don't have to do anymore. We brought someone else in." So we
You
got
guys
removed from the
did
show.
a sex toy bingo night.
Yeah.
It was for a company. They were like, it was one of those things. You know, how people have those like parties where it's like, oh, I'm trying to sell these sex toys to my friends.
sex
like
toy
a
party.
sex toy party. Thank you. I couldn't think of the term.
Yeah.
What
It was
of party?
it was a
Oh,
bingo.
you've never been to a sex toy party?
or like you know how they have Tupperware parties. That's probably more.
Or
something
like
you understand.
Lululemon, or it's like everyone goes over to someone's house and they sell you. It's like a what's that called? A tiered
Like a pyramid scheme.
almost
kind
basically
of.
multi-tiered marketing is what it's called.
So,
So the person in charge of it was like, I want to do this bingo.
are they predators? Is
No,
that-
I mean you're getting your product and everything, but they try to rope people in to sell dildos beneath
Oh, so
them.
I don't have to go to the truck stop.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Exactly.
okay.
It's more like more fun, more like
yeah. You get to drink Merlot
yes.
and talk about anal beads.
I do that at the truck stop one.
Yeah,
Just
we
fine.
were really like I think we were kind of still pretty new to comedy when
Yeah.
we were doing that too. It was only like a year or two into
Yes.
comedy.
You don't have to be into comedy to make that funny. It's,
It was just awkward and uncomfortable.
Yeah, the women were not. There was like it was like middle-aged white women. Like
we
Karens.
weren't handsome enough to pull this off. Now, if Jimmy was hucking
Jimmy could do
dildos,
it. He'd be like, look at this bitch.
you got a dildo. Oh for orgasm. I'm like, oh my god.
That was quite an experience. That was actually at like a restaurant, I think in Towson.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was a
that's-
swanky dildo joint.
Yeah, it was an experience. I'll leave it at that. And we made some money, even though we didn't perform the whole time.
Yeah.
But we just
They paid us to leave.
pretty
paid
much.
you to leave. Wow.
It was fun. God, that's a good story.
Mm.
That takes me back. That takes me back to a little something called Die Laughing Production.
Yeah.
So here's something kind of interesting about Tommy Sinbazo. He is part of a group of people that put on murder mystery shows.
Comedy murder mysteries.
Oh, I've heard of this.
We've
one.
done it like in 5 states, 5 different countries. We did it for the USO.
Yeah, and that's true. He's not just saying that to be funny. It's like legitimate.
Oh man, you supported our troops.
No, I did not for our side.
Oh,
No, yeah.
Okay.
We
For
did
the- for
some
the
of the best
Taliban.
caves.
the
We've
best.
actually got asked to play in Cabal now, so
Are you gonna go?
no.
It's not lucrative enough. Is it?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying there's not a price. If they were like, we'll give you a Black Hawk helicopter if you come down. We don't know how to fly them. If you can get it off our property,
Maybe you could do a VR.
I've kicked around the idea because now I'm in with Kyle Render of Failed to Render, and I've pitched him ideas like a set list show. That's where comics go out with no set list, no plan for what jokes they're going to tell, and then on the side screen it'll come up with a topic, and you have to pretend like that was what was written in your joke book and riff on that topic.
Oh, so it's kind of like an improv.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stuff like that, quiplash tournaments, all sorts of stuff that you could do.
The quiplash. What exactly is?
Justin.
You get pretty crazy with quiplash. You and your crew with
Yeah,
the Die
we've
Laughing
burned a lot of
Production.
bridges.
You've said some pretty offensive stuff.
Now, legitimately, I don't know what that is.
Okay, so there's a company called Jackbox Games, right?
Oh yeah,
You've
I've heard
okay.
of that on Twitch. Yeah.
So one of the game types that they have is called Quiplash, where which basically they set up a server. Everyone plays from their phone, so you're not limited by how many controllers you have. The game starts up, and on the screen on your phone, you and another person will get a prompt like, "What's the weirdest flavor of soup?" or whatever, and you type in your answer and you submit it. 2 answers every round. And then it comes up and it's head to head, you versus the other person, and who people vote for who's funnier. And then, and it gets pretty brutal. Pretty brutal, where you're making fun of people's mothers that died in car crashes.
Yeah.
True story there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Because of soup?
No, because of you just, how about cream of dead mother? Like you could do stuff like that.
You just come up with like nasty fucking answers.
Yeah.
Or like really
Justin!
like
It ends up being like
you
a roast.
insult people.
Yeah.
You know what? We should play that sometime.
Oh, you guys should play Quiplash on here.
we should play that sometime on here.
On here?
Yeah.
Okay, I
not
guess.
hard.
Do you want to play the game with me?
How do you? I don't know how to do it honestly. Like
He
you
said
need
you
an
can-
app or something.
I know you can buy it on Steam and put it on that monitor there, or
Oh.
or your Switch, your Nintendo Switch. As long as you have an internet connection.
You know what? This is gonna happen.
Yeah, that could be our maybe for episode 69. We could
Maybe
do
your
that.
Dirty 30 episode.
Dirty
Oh.
30. Oh, that's the next one
That's
though.
the
That's going to be
next
hard to
one.
figure out. That's too technical for me.
Logistics.
Can I tell you guys? I want to tell you a story about.
Yeah, please.
Okay, so we did Awesomecon this weekend with part of the Geek Comedy
Oh,
Tour,
nice.
which is a comic. I don't really. It might be a pop culture. It's a nerd convention in DC, right? Which everything's shut down at fucking 7:00. So there was no parties, not, and we would ask the crowd like, "Hey, who here smokes pot?" 2 people would be like, out of like 150 people, 2. I'm like, it's legal in DC, and you guys don't fucking smoke weed.
Oh my god.
But
Fucking
so
nerds.
yeah.
after the show on Friday, we went to a restaurant called the Capitol Burger, which is right outside the convention center.
Okay.
Best burger I've ever had in my life. They even come over with like a jar of pickles. They're like, hey, some pickles for the table. And I'm like, pickle. And I ate one. I was like, oh my God, these pickles.
Oh, good.
So we made a plan. We're like, all right, we're coming back tomorrow. And that night on Friday, I realized the knives they give you are like these steak knives that are like, it has a full tang. It's a beautiful fucking knife that they give you.
Where is it? What's it called again?
The Capitol Burger.
Is it by like Ben's Chili? Probably not. No.
I don't know where Ben's Chili is. I'm
Capitol
not
Burgers.
Obama or Bill Cosby, so I don't know where that is.
So this
Fair
knife looked like a katana.
It
Essentially?
was about like maybe 8 inches long with a nice hand. It was a good knife. While I'm sitting there, I was like, I could build a leather sheath for it. I could grind it down to get rid of the serration. I had all these plans in my head. So the next day, Saturday night,
You stole one.
We go there before the show. And sure as shit, I was dressed as a pirate and I had a kilt with like this big pocket on the side. And while we were getting ready to go, just slipped it right in the pocket, right? So then we go from there to the convention center. We get there, the show is starting. I sat on the ground in the hallway in front of the room that the show is in, right? And I'm writing my set list and everything. I'm like, okay, let me go pee before the show. So I get up,
Yes.
I go down this hallway and I have to make a left and then another left. I pee. I come out, I make a right. And as I'm making this right to go down the hallway, there's security at the top. And these people come up and they're like, hey, there's a knife in the hallway. And the security's like, maybe it's fake. And they're like, no, it looks pretty real. Come on. And now security is running down to where there's a knife in the hallway, where there's one staff member like straddling the knife, like warning people to get away from it and everything. And I check my pocket and I'm like, okay, it's my knife. So now there's security up there taking pictures of it and like zooming in. It says the Capitol Burger on it. And I'm like, well, that's gone. I couldn't go up to him. That's my knife that I stole. I'm a pirate, you see.
You could have said it was like a cosplay prop from the
Not-
burger
by the time
joint.
they were already straddling and everything.
Like they had nothing better to do.
No, I'm sure. What if there was like a news story like this weekend at Awesomecon, knife found in hallway? Is it a terrorist cell?
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I guess they would think that. Maybe it was some sort of like incel crazy
I don't know.
person.
You should just own it. No, there's no such thing as bad publicity.
Well, at first, as I'm walking to get to the room, there's a security guard like next to me, and I was like, that might be my knife. And I was like, why did I say that? And the guy was like, no, I think it's real. And I was like, oh yeah, okay. Yeah, you're right. It's not mine then. I only have ones made of toothpaste.
Man, Awesomecon sounds like a lot of fun.
It
Yeah.
was not.
Really?
Well, I mean, the crowds usually at conventions, because we've done Kineticon, we've done MagFest, all these other. There's a bunch of cons where there's a lively after con nightlife.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I remember Balticon back in the day.
Yeah. Well, this,
We would
like I
party
said,
hard.
everything shuts down at like 7 or 8, so there's no one in the hallways. There's nothing really fun to do. I mean, it's in a town where weed and mushrooms are legal, and no one is doing them
That's sad.
at the con. Yeah.
Could have been man, I could just imagine like the orgies and just like the.
We did. Did I ever tell you about the Beyblade orgy we went to?
Oh my
No.
god!
Okay.
Please do tell.
So one year at MagFest, which is the music and gaming festival, which is held the Gaylord National Harbor in Oxon Hill, right?
Right, excellent
It's a
convention.
great convention. You just do mushrooms and whatever, and there's there. Everything is going on. Well, we were walking past the Danny DeVito shrine. We were fully on mushrooms at the time.
Actually, I saw the Danny DeVito shrine the last time I was there. Yeah.
So we were down by the Danny DeVito shrine. Some friends come past us, and they're like, "Hey, where are you guys going? We're going to a party in this penthouse. Do you want to go?" And we're like, "Yeah, okay." So we go to the party all the way up to the penthouse. As we knock on the door, the guy opening the door is just wearing a bathrobe and like leopard print bikini bottoms, and I was like, "What kind of party is this?"
the best.
Halo party.
So we go in, and it's kind of musky in there, and it's kind of smoky. As I'm walking past, there's like a bondage rack that's set up and stuff. There was a cage with a gentleman in it. And we go in, and Brian and I are like, this is a weird party. And that's when like we were like, I think this might be like an orgy. This is either an orgy or like an ecstasy party where people are just going to start sweating and rubbing on each other. And then out of nowhere, someone else that came with us whips out a Beyblade arena and goes, "Let it rip!" And all these people pull out Beyblades and start doing it. And it was like a back alley Saigon thing because
Holy
money starts
shit.
falling on the table. And people are like, "Yeah!" And it got so uncomfortable for the orgiists that like people started leaving and stuff. I guess if you're at an orgy, you don't want to hear someone yell, "Let it rip!"
Oh
Beyblades
my
are pretty awesome.
God.
They
Beyblade.
are fun.
Yeah. No, that's.
man.
I actually had a lot of fun at MagFest. I love that place. The last time I went, a friend of mine had a room, and I went up there, and there was just mysterious blood. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go avoid the mysterious blood, and somebody shit in the elevator.
Yeah,
You remember that?
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know it's a good. No one shit in the elevator at Awesomecon.
I know.
It can't be that good. I actually told them during my set on Friday, I was like, by the way, your con sucks. There's no one shitting in elevators.
I don't know. I mean, that's really what makes a good convention, I think.
I think just the total mayhem. I've been in the bathrooms in there where one of the stalls, like the whole stall wall is ripped out and like on the ground in the bathroom. And I'm like, that's a good con.
That's a good con. And I'll be honest, all those incels, they just let loose. You know?
There was one time I went to go pee in a bathroom and I heard this guy a couple stalls down. He came in with his friends and they're peeing. And the guy's like, "Oh, my lip is so numb." I was like, yeah, cocaine will do that.
Yeah.
When are we ever going to get back to that, you know? Hopefully maybe once COVID goes away.
COVID's not going away.
All right.
No, we're up to the Lambda strain or variant now.
Oh, that sounds...
Oh, well,
which
like
is
Lambda,
right
Lambda,
after.
Lambda. That'd
Yeah.
be fun.
Yeah, if you get it 3 times, you're one of the Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah. Exactly. You got that reference. Good.
Yeah.
The Lambda, Lambda, Lambda reference. Awesome.
Delta, Delta, Delta. Can I help you? Help you? Help you?
No, you can't.
So it's funny that you were just talking about Revenge of the Nerds briefly because I know that you're really into Weird Al.
Yeah.
Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh yes, that Weird Al.
Yeah.
Weird Al Tchaikovsky.
So
Yeah,
I
that
wanted
one.
to see if you could, if you wanted to play along with this game.
Okay.
It's name the Weird Al song.
Okay.
I'm gonna hum because I can't play it. Obviously, any of the music. I'm gonna hum a part of a Weird Al song.
Are you good at humming?
I mean, I'm okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say he's pretty good.
Oh,
okay.
okay. Are you the Weird Al of humming?
No, I'm definitely not. I wish. So let's see if you can figure out what song this is.
Okay.
Okay. In 3,
Uh-huh.
2, 1.
Eat It.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding. Correct. You are good.
Hooray.
What about this one? How about?
Oh, Gump.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
Excellent job.
all right. How about this one? What if I do this for the rest of the episode?
Yeah. It's just 40 minutes of this.
Any guesses?
No. Huck.
What'd you say?
What? I didn't say anything. I was going to say hum the chorus.
Okay.
You sound like one of those chickens.
Is it Weasel Stomping Day?
Yes, you got it.
Oh my God!
This dude is wow.
On fire.
I can't wait to have your partner in crime, Eric Woodworth, on here to see if he can get those right.
Make sure you do the same. He will never get Weasel Stomping Day.
He will never, ever get it.
You hear that, Woodworth? You're garbage.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll find some other ones.
We
for
have
him.
in one of our murder mysteries, which is our 90s theme murder mystery. Eric and
Courtesy
I,
of Die Laughing Productions.
Eric and I come out as Weird Al super fans, and we end up performing Amish Paradise. But before that, Eric and I, they're like, yeah, we can name all of Weird Al songs, and we don't have them written, but it's actually a contest between Eric and I to see. We go back and forth naming Weird Al songs, and the tap out is when one of us says Yoda, and then we both just say, okay, Yoda. So,
Yeah, it's pretty awesome actually to watch live. I work at Magooby's Joke House, as most of you know.
now, Justin, what is Magooby's Joke House?
Well, it is a
What is
comedy
a joke
club.
house?
For those of you that don't know what a Magooby's is, I don't know either. It's just a comedy club in Maryland where we have comedy shows, stand-up comedy, murder mysteries.
Jazz shows.
Sometimes there are jazz shows that aren't funny.
No.
They're more annoying than anything else. But shots fired. But yeah.
Weren't you pushing that a couple weeks ago?
What, a jazz show? Probably. I don't know. I'm shameless. I'll promote anything for money. But yeah, so anyway, yeah, it's great to watch him and Eric do it live. And then they take off their shirts, which is cool.
Oh, okay. When's the show?
Well, I don't know what they're going to do for the Halloween one. If shirts are
Oh,
coming
is
off
that
or not.
is that the next one that we can go to?
I believe so.
October 29th, October 30th at Magooby's Joke House.
And it's also the early show is Justin Schlegel is headlining.
Now, what is a Justin Schlegel?
Oh my God.
Justin Schlegel is a very popular comedian and radio talent, and amongst many other things, who, if you have never seen him perform, check out his stuff online.
Yeah.
Definitely incredible talent. He's going to be performing his stand-up,
Yeah,
right?
he's doing stand-up on the early show, and Joe Robinson is going to feature.
Oh, that'll be fun. I haven't seen him do stand-up in forever.
Yeah, he hasn't done stand-up in forever.
It's been at least like 14 years.
So for the murder mystery, do I get murdered? Is that
No, Justin
okay.
dies usually,
Yes.
and
Not
then
me,
he comes
though,
back.
Justin Schlegel.
Justin Schlegel
Yeah.
Okay.
dies, and then comes back as the detective.
Yes, and you have to figure it out.
There are audience roles that we give to the audience.
Do I get to wear blood? Is it like a gore show?
It could be.
There is fake semen.
Okay, I'm in.
I mean, air quotes, fake semen.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
yes.
Actually, yeah, I don't know. This is going to be a new production, a new story?
The Halloween one, no. We do
Okay.
have a new Christmas one that we're doing.
Nice. So wait. If it's not a new Halloween, that means Jeremy Woodworth is going to be there? Possibly as Pogo the Clown?
We only hired him to just creep people out.
Oh, okay. So he's not in the script.
He's not in the script.
He's good at creeping people out.
Yeah.
Oh, so I'm gonna get creeped out?
Yeah.
You should come, honestly.
It's
a
really- it is
really
a good time. Yeah.
If you're in the state of Maryland on October 30th, come to Magooby's Joke House and check out the Die Laughing production. I forget what is it? Isn't there a name
Halloween
for it?
Whodunit.
Halloween Whodunit. It's going to be an all-star lineup. Scary stuff. And
I know. I need a.
Who done it?
Yeah.
I need
And come
like
in
a-
costume. Everybody come dressed up.
Yes.
That makes it funner, more funner.
I know. I'll definitely be working that show. I'm
I think
checking
we
people
do
in.
costume contests too in the middle of it.
It's a really good time,
Mm-hmm.
honestly. It's probably one of the more fun. Trick or treating is fun, but this is like like if there's a top two,
Like, we can't tricky.
Tricky
You
treat.
can't
I can fucking trick or treat. You know,
You
what I'm
can't
saying?
treat tricks anymore because you're an adult.
Well, I pretend like I have learning problems that I'm slow.
Oh, pretend. Okay.
No, but I mean like I'm a retard, like that kind of. You know,
Oh wow.
I
Can't
trick or
say
treat.
Can't say that.
Hey.
You have to say developmentally disabled.
No, not even that. Developmentally delayed.
Okay.
Can't say disabled anymore.
Developmentally different.
Delayed.
Did you know you can't say Asperger's anymore?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Why? I say it all the
you're on
time.
spectrum.
Because the doctor who diagnosed it, it's named after him, Dr. Asperger, and he was a Nazi doctor who would experiment on children.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Is that why they ended up kind of strange?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, that's
Probably
what it
something
was.
to do with
We
it.
will make a super soldier out of this man. Needs, we've built a train suit for him.
That's excellent.
Nazis.
We will tell them the United Forces took to applesauce.
I never knew that about Asperger's. Huh.
Yeah, it's
So
new.
now it's
I
just,
think
I
it's
guess
new
you're on the
information.
spectrum.
So
Yeah.
we
I have
now
a spectrum disorder.
What do they call it now?
Retarded.
Yeah. All right. Well, we have about. It's just about time to wrap up the episode.
No, I wasn't saying that.
Oh, I thought you were saying to wrap it up.
No.
Oh, you were like doing this thing. I got confused. Sorry, our sound engineer.
Yeah.
Oh, full circle.
I thought he was
it's
telling me to
back to
wrap it up, but he was saying that Nazis and retards are the same. I get it. Okay, I'm
I
sorry.
think you just found the name of the episode.
What, Nazi retards?
Nazis and retards.
are the same.
Or name of a punk
Nazis
band.
and
Well,
retards
I was gonna
with
call
Tommy.
it. I was gonna call it the Tommy
Keep my name out.
Sinbazo episode. So when people did a Google search of Tommy
Yeah,
Sinbazo,
when
Okay.
people do a Google search of you, it's going to come up
pop up.
retards and
I bet
Nazis.
more people are researching the R word than my name.
yeah, you're probably no. I don't-
Actually, I'm going to go Google retards right now.
I mean, if you really want to. I actually don't know. The timer isn't on. I don't know how much time we have left, honestly, for this show.
Well, how
I have a
much is
lot-
recorded?
What do we got? Got 20 minutes. Fantastic. That gives me time to ask you this question, Tommy. Pre 9/11,
Okay.
what was your favorite food to eat?
Peanut butter and mayonnaise sandwiches.
And then 9/11 happened, and,
Yeah, and that kind of ruined it for me. Well, I lost my spleen. I was in the hospital during 9/11.
fuck you, terrorist.
Yeah. So I was actually flipping I was in a hospital bed. We only had 3 channels, and it was either that animated show on PBS about this Chinese Siamese cat,
Oh yeah.
or I was flipping and I saw that there was smoke coming out of a building, and they're like, a plane has crashed into, and I was like, that dumbass. What a dumb pilot.
Yeah,
and
what
then
an
I
idiot.
actually saw this other plane coming in, and I was like, oh, he must be checking on what his buddy did. And then I saw it hit, and I was like, what?
Oopsie.
How does that happen twice?
So, what is it? What happens when you don't have a spleen? Do you need that?
It's like a secondary filtration system. I got to watch out for pneumonia, which I got when I got COVID.
Oh shit.
And then I got to watch out for malaria, which I was very scared. We did a murder mystery in Djibouti, Africa. Have you ever been?
to Djibouti?
Yeah.
No.
But there were like stray cats in the airport, and like swarms of mosquitoes in the airport.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was pretty scary.
Yeah, I'd be so worried to catch a disease or.
Can I give you my spleen, Tony?
Sure.
Why'd I call you Tony?
I get that. I get that sometimes.
Tony?
Tommy.
Not Tommy.
Tony Sinbazo.
Tommy Sinbazo.
Sinbazo. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just give you mine.
Okay.
I'm not using it right now, so.
Well, for the longest time, I didn't get sick after I lost my spleen.
Well, that's
And then you know when you run and you get a stitch in your side?
no.
Yeah.
I don't do a lot of running, honestly. I don't know.
I've read about running.
Well, apparently that's your spleen cramping. So if I chose to run, I wouldn't get a stitch.
Yeah, but that's a choice thing.
Yeah, that is.
It's no longer survival of
saying.
the
Your
fittest.
body, your choice. That's what I always
Exactly.
say. That's good. It's nice that you have that like freedom. So you do feel like running, and I don't know. I'm excited about that for you.
Cool, thanks.
Yeah.
I don't plan on running.
Yeah.
No, don't. I mean, it's such.
Yeah, don't
it's
do it. It's
overrated.
awful.
Yeah.
It's just terrible. We had mentioned this before. I don't want to like pigeonhole you, I guess is the saying, but you know a thing or two about shrooms, like mushrooms.
Yes.
And I honestly don't like to mess around with drugs other than like prescription pills and stuff that I'm supposed to take. But I've always been interested in shrooms. I've heard it can really like make you have a good attitude. Like it can really
Do you want me to preach to you about the benefits of mushrooms?
Pretty much, yeah. That's what I was going for.
Okay. So basically, the reason I love shrooms, these are all studies by Johns Hopkins, right? You can't OD on shrooms. It's the safest drug you can do. You can only trip harder. They can't piss test for it because it's out of your system right after you're done tripping. If Johns Hopkins studies have proven if you have a depressed brain, like you're depressed, it will reset your brain to a non-depressed state. It can kill addictions. It can grow new brain cells, forge new pathways in your brain. You're more creative for the next 6 months after taking mushrooms. What I'm saying is, after the show, come out to my car and buy some merch.
Yeah. It sounds great.
Yeah.
I'm always just, because I'm such an anxious person. I'm so nervous and anxious. I'm always afraid to like do stuff because I'm afraid I'm going to have like panic attacks. And
Well,
go crazy.
any amount below a gram, up to a gram is considered a microdose.
Oh, okay.
And there are people that take microdoses 3 times a week just to maintain a good outlook on life and everything. And then you get to what's called a testing dose, which is between 2 to 5 grams. And then anything over 5 grams is considered a heroic dose.
Heroic.
It's called that.
Yeah, because you're a hero.
You go to like a different, I guess like the experience is so
different plane.
powerful. It really is like.
Well, I mean, and I've had bad trips before, but they're so few, and now I find myself chasing the bad trip. I wanna get so fucked up that I'm scared for what's going to happen. But I can't get there again.
You probably would learn something from that experience too. Like maybe learn something about yourself.
It's definitely like if you have shit going on in your head that's unprocessed, stuff that you're not dealing with. Shrooms are like this magic fantasy theme park, but you have to walk barefoot across Legos to get to it. You have to deal with your shit before you can have fun.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
But it's great. It's supposed to be such a great like mind. I don't say mind altering, but I guess it is mind altering.
It can totally alter your outlook on stuff.
Yeah, it's really helpful for a lot of people, and I so badly want to take the step and do it, but I'm just such a fucking pussy. Like I have never smoked weed. Like I'm in my 40s. I've never smoked weed because I've been so nervous about it.
You could always overcompensate, Justin.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
Do a bunch right now.
Yeah, I got some DMT in the trunk of my car.
That's something I seriously want to try DMT.
If you want a
But
real
there's
podcast,
no way.
Yeah.
There's no way I'd be able to handle DMT. I feel like that would be just too much.
I've never blasted off on DMT.
You've done like 1 hit or 2 hits?
1 or 2 hits because I'll make it into like an e-liquid that I can vape.
Oh, okay.
And then, but I'll do mushrooms, and then as I'm peaking, I'll take a hit of that. Well, I did that once, and it was like throwing gasoline on a bonfire. It was so fucking
crazy.
Yeah, because like I just started seeing like this overlay pattern. That's where paisley comes from, is tripping. Did you know that?
No.
It's kind of like the shapes you see over top of other stuff.
Oh, see, I would never wear that.
But there was one time, fiance was out of town. I drank a big old mushroom tea. I was watching TV, and I started seeing a paisley overlay, and I'm like, okay, it's about to come on. And then as I started to like feel that I was hitting the peak of the trip, I did a big old hit of DMT, and then that pattern overlay just fell onto every surface in the house. And then it was like these rainbow colors shooting down surfaces like banisters and stuff. And every surface would terminate in a 1930s clown head, right? And I was like, oh, fuck.
Horrifying.
Yeah, so I'm on the couch and I'm like, oh, God, no. And then as I'm closing my eyes, on the inside of my eyelids, remember in Who Framed Roger Rabbit when they go to Toontown at the end? And it's like, smile, darn ya, smile.
Actually, yes.
Right, yeah. So as I'm closing my eyes, I saw like a happy tree like dancing, and I was like, okay, I'm about to pass out. So I told Alexa, there's this band called The Orb. You ever hear The Orb? They do like electronica and stuff. It's good for like when you're tripping. Cool. And I was like, Alexa, play The Orb. And as I'm drifting off, I hear now playing Roy Orbison, and I'm like, so I had for the next 15 minutes, I tripped to Have You Happened to See?
Oh my God. Wow. Now, have you ever seen, well, you don't do DMT that much, but I was going to ask about like elves or any like.
I've never gotten to that point. I have had, when I used to LARP, I LARPed live action role play.
Yes.
For
those
like,
that don't know.
For the,
Now, what
retard.
What is LARP?
Yeah. For the retards out there.
Okay, it's live action role play.
No, unfortunately, I know. Yeah, so you did that.
I did it for 11 years.
Now, what would you LARP?
Our group was a Roman group. And then
So
we
it was
wear
like
all,
a toga party.
basically, we would have toga parties on New Year's Eve
Oh,
and
that's
stuff.
excellent.
And then when we moved from that group, we then became like we just LARPed. It didn't matter what our backstory was, but we had we would go. They have these campouts on weekends, and that's where it's more like playing Dungeons and Dragons, where you have whatever class you are, you have certain abilities. And there's quests and things you have to do.
Nick's been trying to convince me to do this.
By the way, I feel kind of weird because I didn't even mention it. So everyone, Nick is here in studio also.
Nick, the producer.
Nick, our super producer, is here today. He's actually a huge fan of yours, Tommy. And he just wanted to come in and be with you.
Yeah, he
I
wanted
guess.
to be close to you on the couch.
Close to you, not to freak you out or anything.
We would go do these campouts, and we would fight all day, and then right after, when the campout was over, we would take a whore bath, just like a baby wipe. Now, what is a whore bath? We would wipe ourselves down with baby wipes, put on our best armor, and then eat a handful of mushrooms and just walk out into the woods at night. And these campouts always seemed to coincide with full moons. So you didn't really, it wasn't that dark. You could like hunt for glowworms and stuff. But there was definitely a time where we tripped, my buddy Jose and I tripped and just walked off into the woods, and we saw the sexiest fucking tree that you would ever. It looked like a dryad. Like the moonlight was hitting it. It had like this goddess type pose and everything.
Wow.
Yeah. And then we went to go touch it, and it turned back into leaves. And I was like, oh, we should have had consent.
Oh, yeah. What a crazy, crazy experience that must have been.
But we did see a shadow person. So we're on these shrooms. We're walking through the woods. Off in the distance, we can see a torchlight, right? And it's illuminating something that to us looks like a shire. Like a hobbit house. And we're like, yo, let's go check that out. So we trudge through sticker bushes and everything to get to this thing. Turns out it's just a tent that some camp puts all their equipment in front of their thing. And then while we're sitting there looking at this tent, a tree grew behind Jose. Jose takes a step back, and this tree was like, and grew there. And he was like, what the fuck? And I was like, yo, let's get this fucking tree. So we start beating up this tree, and we're bending its limbs and snapping it and stuff. And then we're making our way back out to the trail, and we see a group of our friends. And we look out over into the woods, and it looked like there was like Civil War ghosts moving through these woods and stuff, like in like Civil War attire and stuff. And then as we're looking, there is a solid shadow like it's kind of dark, but it was the figure of a person that was pitch black standing in front of us. So we couldn't see beyond it. And Jose and I like got real close to it, trying to check it out and look at it. And then it spoke, and it said, please don't beat the shit out of me. And it turned out it was our friend Dan, who was just in the dark. He had just saw us beat up a tree. It was like holding still so we didn't snap on him.
Those were the good old days.
Yeah.
So
pre-COVID.
Do you ever like trip the same thing as your friends?
Usually, most times you do trip the same things. It's like this consciousness bubble that's sort of like, vroom, and things you experience, they tend to experience.
Really?
There was one time we were doing a camp out in Ohio, a week-long camp out, and Jose and I, we tripped. Then we went to this bonfire. So we're tripping, and we're in this bonfire, and it was almost like this Highlander type like sense where I looked across the bonfire as this other guy looked across the bonfire, and I mouthed to him, "Are you tripping?" And he was like, "Yes, are you tripping?" And we're like, "Yeah." And then he and his buddies met up with Jose and I, and then flunk, then our bubble just became this one reality bubble and just walked all around together. It
sounds amazing.
Justin,
Yeah.
I feel like we could bond with this.
I really am
we
like,
could use this
I'm
as a
so
tool.
close. But I'm just so paranoid that I'm going to damage my brain more and like
It
it's going
only
to fuck
fixes
up my life.
brains. It
I
fixes
know
brains.
that's the thing. I know this.
Yeah.
But I'm so scared.
See,
and
I'm
like,
afraid of being trapped, of being high. Like I don't like that.
Well, I've had comics come out before they would come LARPing with on the weekend, right? And
As comics do,
Yeah.
yes.
But it was a couple. It was a husband and wife, and gave them shrooms for the first time. And as we're about to go and walk around and everything, I look over, and they're both like huddled next to each other, like whispering, like. And I was like, no, get out of that. If you get caught in your own head, the best thing to do is to talk. Like just talk to people, and
Really?
you get out of that. I've had cyclical thinking where I ask a question of myself, which is answered by the same question, and which is answered by the same question, and then it like you get trapped in your own head.
I've heard about that happening. Actually.
And the best way to get out of that is just talk. And music is better. Everything is just better.
Yeah, I've heard that. I guess the way light looks, it's much brighter and beautiful.
Colors pop more.
Yeah.
They actually say there's a theory that back when we were primates or whatever, the thing that helped us make that evolutionary step was eating mushrooms. They would
Wow.
forage mushrooms, eat mushrooms. You would trip. Your senses were heightened. They became better predators. They were then able to eat more meat. More meat means more protein. More protein means larger brains. And there's also things saying that the mountain that Moses went to go talk to God and come down with
I think it was Mount Cyanide or something.
cyanide.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I
cyanide.
think so.
Yeah.
But towards the peak of that mountain, there's a strain of hallucinogenic mushrooms called stargazers.
There
Of
you
course
go.
there is.
And
yeah.
of course, he fucking tripped his balls off and came back down with a set of rules, which are basically don't be a dick.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
basically
much.
what the 10 Commandments are.
That's the whole like what
Oh wow,
flaming.
that saves so much time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just,
Just
That's
don't be
probably
a
why he
dick.
saw like a talking flaming.
Yeah, he
bush
saw
or
a
whatever.
flaming bush.
Yeah, he's like, yes, okay, this is normal.
I'm so hungry. Better eat more of these mushrooms.
Yes.
it's crazy that you mentioned that it plays into evolution because they said that on that new Netflix special I was talking to you about before the show is they said that basically these mushrooms are kind of what made us evolve.
Yeah.
So-
That's what he just said.
Yeah, I know. And I
So
was
basically,
saying,
you
like,
just-
I
you
saw
just-
it on
you
TV,
just
so I know
repeated-
it's true.
You just repeated exactly what Tommy said.
Netflix said so.
Yeah,
so-
Netflix told me. So
All right, but so did Tommy. He just pretty much said
I just
that.
confirmed it.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is basically shrooms helped us evolve from ape to whatever we
From
are
ape
now.
to be just beyond ape.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I am.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So you just need that. You're a Cro-Magnon state.
hey,
am.
Nick, the producer,
Oh, hey.
you're very big into evolution. Like you were telling me that dolphins and stuff came from dog animals. Do you think this is true?
Yeah, no, I like the movie.
Yeah, the
good.
mushrooms. The movie
I
taught
believe
us
it.
everything.
It's a documentary.
it's a documentary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I'll have to check that out on Netflix.
I think everyone
Yeah.
should at least trip once, at least
I
mushrooms.
agree,
Now they
yeah.
say that everybody should do acid at least once, and I've done acid twice, and you don't come back as the same person.
No,
once
I
you've
did
done
acid at a very young age, actually.
Yeah.
and it fucked me up.
Oh, is that what
Big
happened?
time. Yeah, I was in like ninth grade, and I'd never done any other drugs. And I did I think it was like a triple.
Jesus,
I didn't know. It was
Yeah.
15, 14.
who gave it to you? Whose uncle
the
gave
local
it?
the local drug dealer that
okay.
I bought it from? Everyone. It was when the Grateful Dead were in town, and
Okay.
he had scored a bunch of acid. So
See,
we were
my
all,
stepbrother, I think he does that to high school kids too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
that shit fucked me. I mean, it was cool. It was kind of a cool experience, but
The worst part about acid is like when you're done, it's not.
yeah,
Yeah,
That's what I'm afraid of. I told you. Just
But they
being trapped.
apparently, I read an article that there's a researcher that was trying to find how acid affects the brain. Ended up finding a pill or creating a pill that shuts off the trip. You take this pill, and 20 minutes to a half hour later, you're not tripping anymore. And that it would be a game changer for me if I could take acid and then like 6 hours later be like, all right, I'm done. Pop my pill.
Yeah, because it does last a while.
Got to go to youth group.
Yeah, at the mosque.
Oh, no.
Oh man, that's. I don't know. I gotta reevaluate my life now and just.
Well, you know what?
A lot
I
of
don't know
regrets.
if we have the liability insurance to do it here or together, but we should. Yeah,
could.
see,
Yeah,
I
Jimmy,
think I'm sold.
Jimmy comes back in. There's just dead bodies all
Yeah.
around.
What did you do? Yeah.
The next
I could talk
episode.
to. I guess I could talk to management about that and see if
Yeah,
it is
talk-
covered with insurance.
Talk
and
to management.
see what they think.
I feel like I would need to be insured.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like I said, it's decriminalized, like in D.C. and Portland.
Yeah.
It's starting to be decriminalized in all the cool states.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean that definitely shows that there is sort of
I wouldn't want to go to DC to
Legitimacy.
do it.
No, fuck no.
no,
I got
no,
like
hell
F
no.
Street,
Yeah.
12th
F
Street.
Street.
Some bad shit going on down there. So it looks like I'm just looking at the time. We're just about done, pretty much, right? We got about 1 minute left.
Actually, I did. If we only have a minute left, can I ask him about that bag?
I'm so glad you brought that up. So, Tommy, something I've learned about you is that you are into leather.
I'm not. I just do all sorts of stuff. I do metalworking, leatherworking, woodworking. I built a guitar. I don't play guitar.
Do you want to hold that up so the camera can see what you made?
This.
Is it on camera now?
Yeah, it looks like it.
There it is.
He's got to talk.
There, check. There it is. There is my bag.
Tommy Sinbazo made that bag.
Yeah, it took like 3 months. I had to do it by hand because during the pandemic, I didn't have access to a laser cutter. So I had to cut everything by hand and stitch it by hand. And then the inside is purple suede.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's nice. It replaced I made another bag that this replaced.
I've got a little bit of bag envy. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, man, that's a good bag. I like it.
Do you sell any of your stuff on Etsy or
No,
anything?
because if I start doing that, then I'm going to start hating it.
That makes sense.
understand.
You're not doing it for money. You're doing it because it's a love.
Yeah, well, not a love, just something I have. So the more TikTok has taught me a lot about my ADD, and it's something that certain neurodivergents do. Is we pick up new hobbies and we get way into it, and then once we stop getting dopamine from doing it, we drop it and do some other hobby. Yeah. And I just keep. Especially during the pandemic. As a matter of fact, I found a stop sign in my neighborhood at the beginning of the pandemic. Well, found means I left the house with a crescent wrench and came home with a stop sign.
I know.
But I cut it up and made armor for my motorcycle vest and made a metal grill for my motorcycle
Mad
helmet.
Max?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Are there photos available of that?
I can put them up, but like I used the stop part to make this grill that I had to get a jeweler's saw to like cut out. Yeah.
Incredible.
I got so into doing everything. And like we live in a 1-bedroom apartment, so it's like I turned
your partner in crime there, your
Lewis like we
fiancé
live like hoarders.
would love
I'm
that.
like, no, I made all this stuff.
She's trying to sleep and you're like drilling and fucking
It's
There has
crazy.
been times
the morning.
where I had to take over the kitchen so I could do some electroplating in the kitchen, and she's like, "Should you be wearing a mask?" And I was like,
Oh my god! Actually, I tried to lift up before we started the show. I tried to pick it up, and it's got some weight to it. It's
Yeah.
got to be at least 20
Definitely
pounds.
heavier.
Yeah.
It's heavier than it looks.
I originally wanted to make it so that it would have a loop so I could use it as a shield. So
Is that what kind of animal? Or
this is leather, but it's been embossed with a alligator skin. So it just looks like alligator, but it's leather.
okay?
And then the whole thing is like 10-ounce leather, so it's real thick. You can beat it up. The only parts where it's failing is the nylon that the zipper that it connects to the
course, it's
zipper
the
is starting to
goddamn
rip,
zipper.
and I'm like, God, I gotta have to fucking. I'm mentally preparing myself for having to take it apart to replace the zipper.
Oh, no.
incredible. Just here's the thing about Tommy Sinbazo. He's a jack of all trade. He's a man's man. He can do it all. Actually, I shouldn't say man's man. I say that for Nick.
Yes, yes.
Nick is a man's man.
Nick is a
Tommy
man's man.
is like a demigod.
I think
He can do so much. He can make you laugh. He can make you cry. He's a storyteller. He's a designer. He's an inventor. He's a creator. He is everything you would want in a human being and an extraterrestrial.
I'm just good for a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, honestly.
I'm on a lot of people's teams for a zombie apocalypse.
No, you're definitely welcome to my bunker. That's
He's a scavenger. He's a forger. He's a fighter. He's a lover. He's everything you would want. So, with that being said, thank you for listening to this episode of Daddy Home. And yes, thank you. Oh, gosh.
Are you gonna bleep out all the R words?
No.
Damn it!
no, we're keeping
I'm gonna
those.
get Shane Gillis.
Staying in.
We're keeping
I'm the one that
those.
said it, not you. You were the one. If everyone's listening to this, when you're listening to this, Tommy did not want me to say the R words.
No.
He is opposed to the R word.
By the way, I am neurodivergent, so I can say it, right?
yes.
Is that how it works?
I was the one that said it.
I think we're all mentally ill
yeah,
here.
I, Justin Jones, said the R word, not Tommy Sinbazo. It was me. I brought
He
it
was
up.
doing it. Justin does a great impression of me, by the way, but he only uses it to say the R word.
Yes. So please do not hold that against him. And also, what we like to say when we end our shows, before that, I just want to say, follow us on Twitter. Daddy Home Pod CA1. Tommy, is there anything you want to plug?
When's this come out?
in a few days.
Oh, okay. You can catch me if you're in PA, Hanover, PA. I'll be at Church of Satire on Friday and Saturday. I'll be at Periodic Table in Columbia on Wednesday. And then if you're in Utah in November, I'll be November 4th at the Metro Music Hall. Yeah. Oh, and go to laughfinderpod.com and look up Laugh Finder Pod on all your streaming things and come listen to us tell Dungeons and Dick jokes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
That
yeah,
sounds
it was
great.
really, really great guest this time.
Yeah, I love him. And
really loved having you on.
speaking of dicks, go fucking iceberg.
Keep your dick
Keep
cool.
your dick cool.
Cool it.
All right, that's it. We're fucking done.